What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be taking on the Wolverhampton Wanderers FM series. Today we're going to be playing as the Wolves. We're going to be managing Wolves for a few years here, and we're going to go through the objectives of this rebuild and of this save. So first of all, I have a 3-year original plan, and we are going to be competing for a cup competition if we can manage that. We're also going to be trying to compete for the title later on, and we're also going to be signing just not unks. Like, we're just going to be signing some decent young players that can play for the club. So yeah, I think our targets for the first season is just to make it out of the relegation zone, as Wolves are pretty much a team guaranteed for relegation in FM, and it's looking like it in real life. We'll see what happens. But in terms of the squad, we have a pretty good squad, and I think we're just going to go ahead and go through that right now. If you guys are wondering, I am using an updated data set. Basically, this means that this is the most up-to-date rosters. It is from summer, not the January transfer window, which is when I am recording this. So first and foremost, let's get into the tactic. If you guys didn't know, there was a FM World Cup being played out, I think, a few months ago, and the winner had a 4-2-3-1 tactic that was just absolutely dominant. I've used that tactic before in a Chelsea save, and that thing is unbelievably good. So I've used the core principles of that tactic for this tactic. A sweeper keeper on support, 2 wide center backs, a ball playing defender. These guys' basic roles just tackle harder, and the ball playing defender has dribble more. In terms of the 4 here, we have cross from the byline, get further forward, which is base for the wingbacks. Then we have take more risk, cross more often, cut inside, stay wider, and tackle harder. On all of the players, it's going to be tackle harder. That's just what the tactic calls for. 2 DMs on support. It's a little controversial because you're thinking we don't really have that much going forward. But as long as one of the DMs has a little bit more going for him offensively, it actually turns out pretty fine, and I've had no issues with this midfield setup so far. Of the 2 players up here, attacking midfield on support, then obviously attacking forward, probably arguably the best number 9 role in the game if you have a good forward for that. I don't think the Wolves do. There's a lot of holes on this team. We need a lot of depth, but that is just going to be with the struggle of this first season. So now let's go through the squad, and let's see in the squad planner just kind of what I'm thinking in terms of the future. So number 1, I think we're going to need a goalkeeper eventually. I really like Sa. I think he's done decently well for Wolves for the past few years, but this year he's just kind of a little bit off the mark. But in FM, he's a really good keeper. So obviously we're going to try and keep him, but he is 31. I didn't make the rules. 31-year-old, he's got to go. In terms of the defense, this is a big area of weakness for us. We have a 34-year-old playing for us, and that is just not okay. In terms of the squad depth, I mean, it's not the best. We don't have good squad depth. I really like this guy right here. I've signed him in a few other saves. He looks pretty decent, and he's looking like he can be either a depth option going forward, or he could be the guy. My opinion, I think he's just going to be the depth option, but again, we'll see there. So the defense definitely needs some loans coming in January, in my opinion. Next is going to be the wingbacks. Same issue here. These guys are just unks. These guys are old. For right now, they're just going to get the job done, and that's that. I really like Nori here. I think this guy is really class, and I also really like him in real life too. He's going to be a big part of the save, in my opinion. Crossing at 14, dribbling at 15. He's got everything we need for this system. He's going to be fantastic for us in the future, no doubt. In terms of the defense, this is a big area of weakness for us. We have a 34-year-old playing for us, and that is just not okay. We don't have good squad depth. So the defense definitely needs some loans coming in January, in my opinion. Next is going to be the wingbacks. Same issue here. These guys are just unks. These guys are old. For right now, they're just going to get the job done. I really like Nori here. I think this guy is really class, and I also really like him in real life too. He's going to be a big part of the save, in my opinion. One of the strengths coming into this save is actually the DMs. I really like Andre, and I really like João Gomez, both in real life and in the game. The Brazilian duo that's going to be hopefully here for the long run. I don't mind Tommy Doyle. I think he's an all-right player. I don't think we're really going to try and address this, at least in the first year. Maybe we'll look at some other options coming forward in the next few years. In terms of the attack, this is, in my opinion, another area of weakness. Obviously, we have the superstar Cunha here, who is fantastic in real life. For me, I'm not looking at moving on from him. He still has 3 years left on his deal. Unless a big offer comes in that we can't refuse, I see him being a big part of this save, and I wouldn't mind pairing him with another really good attacking midfielder. But for now, this guy is the pinnacle of our attack, and everything's going to be coming through him. Pause. And then moving on to the striker, Cunha could play the striker for us, but obviously I think I'd rather want him as that playmaker. In terms of the number 9, we have Larson. This dude, Kalajdzic. Yeah, bro. I definitely cooked that. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of holes on this team, and it shows. We have a lot of work to do if we want to really put our best foot forward in terms of the save. I'm just going to cut this to January, and we'll see kind of how the team is. All right, guys, so here's a quick little update. So being the unemployed gooner, and no, I'm not talking about an Arsenal fan. And so I went on vacation, right? And I was like, all right, 15th of December, I'm going to come back. We'll see where we are in the Premier League table. To my bewilderment and shockingly surprised self, I came with an email the 26th of November, and Aura Aubrey got fired, bro. Are you dumb, fam? So that's it. That's the end of... No, I'm just kidding. Miss Nick A30 has said, never back down, never what. I'm not a cheater. I don't like cheating because you know what they say, and this is a quote, winners never cheat and cheaters never win. That one hit. But what I'm doing is I'm going to move myself to Wolves. I mean, that's the whole point of this series, bro. Wolves are some doo-doo buns. Like, Aura Aubrey is back. Wolves realized their mistake. The Six God, the Toronto Mans. I'm back, and I'm better than ever. And look, you know, let's try and save this club. Let's try and save this club. Yes, guys, we are back. We didn't get fired, and we are in we're in February. So I went absolutely nuclear in this transfer window, and I just went balls to the wall. The club gave me some money. Be honest, I should have probably used all 20 million of this, but I just felt like we're so secure in where we are right now. 16th in the Prem. So what did I do? I loaned in for a future transfer fee Morgan Gibbs-White back to Wolves. He is absolutely going to be cooking for us. He's already scored a goal for us, so he's been massive already. And then we got the wonder kid himself, Mr. Nusa, coming in on loan from Leipzig with an option to buy. Now, I just don't think he wants to play for us, but I mean, we're going to try everything we can to get this guy long term. One of our guys is down and out for the count for 3 months. The 34-year-old center back, you know, surprising. So we went ahead and did a easy, cheap purchase. I think it's going to be 8.5 if he gets 50 appearances for the club. This guy's a good fodder, good depth. Not too bad. It was just more of a reactionary kind of. I mean, he's 6'3". He's got good stats. Honestly, where I've cooked the bet, this is the savior of the season. Mr. Cornelius, this guy is so cold, bro. This guy is going to save us. He is going to save the save. He is going to be an instrumental part for the future going forward. How did we do in January? Besides this awful game against Ipswich, we beat Newcastle, which is a phenomenal result. We drew to United, And honestly, we could have probably won this game, but, Garnacho just has to score in a 90 plus 7. We destroyed Crystal Palace, which is actually a really good sign. And then we did lose to West Brom in the FA Cup, which is no bueno. So we're out of both cups, but it is what it is. We're not even worried about that at this point. And then a draw at St. James Park is not bad. Cunha masterclass here with 2 goals. Scored a brace for us. And we have a tough schedule for the rest of the season, but I'm confident in the boys, and I'm confident in this new system. The 4-2-3-1, yes sir, yes sir. So the 3-back was just not working especially with all the defensive injuries. That's what I'm blaming for sure. Not my tactic. My tactic's too cold. But this is going to be the starting 11 moving forward. We got to get Cornelius playing for sure. But the team's not looking too bad now. You're probably thinking in your head, okay, this guy's cooking. So that's the January update. We are 16th, are 4 points clear of the relegation zone. Quite honestly, I think we can do it. I think we can make a big push. I think we're going to be... My prediction is we're going to be 13th. I don't think we're below 13th, and we're definitely not getting relegated. Well. Looks like we've done it. To all the doubters, to all of the haters, to the people who thought I was going to get fired again, or to the people who thought this team was going to be relegated, you just got to think again. When the back's against the wall, we decide to lock in, and that's exactly what we've done. We've come from almost being relegated in the relegation battle to being 12th. How did we do it? You might think off of this screen right here, it was Matheus Cunha, who had an unbelievable season, 24 goals and assists and 35 appearances. He's had, I think, 1 or 2 hat tricks this season. You might have thought it was the absolute amazing signing of Morgan Gibbs-White, who's come in and had 7 goals and assists and 13 appearances with an average rating of 7.35, revolutionizing the way that we've played. If you look at the tactic, this is kind of what we've been running, the 4-2-3-1 with Gibbs-White in the midfield and Cunha at the number 9. Nusa has come in and he's been absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to try and get this guy in the transfer window. Hopefully we can build around him, but he's had 8 goals in assists and 16 appearances for us. You might be thinking, who's the MVP? Is it Cunha? Is it Gibbs-White? Is it Sa? Because Sa had a crazy game. But no, it is our boy. And we called this in the January transfer window. It is my boy Cornelius here. He was an absolute staple in the defense. He was just a phenomenal player. I mean, look at this. He had 1.42 tackles per 90 and a 91% pass rating. I mean, I don't think it can get better than that. Move out of the way, VVD. The January transfers were a big W. We've secured the defense. If you want to take a look at what happened since January, we went on a great, fantastic run, especially here in April. We had an absolute stinker of a schedule. We tied the 4-4 Brentford super team. Then we tied, this is unbiased here, not being biased, the greatest team in the Premier League, quite possibly ever. We tied the best team in the Premier League at the Stamford Bridge, which is just a fortress. This is a anomaly of a result here for sure. Then 2 pins from Fernandez. What are you gonna do? Actually, what are you gonna do? Beating Arsenal at home was huge for us. Gibbs-White, then Mr. Larson, and then an own goal. I think these both were off headers, but who knows? This game was actually crazy. Jose Sa had 15 saves against Liverpool as we went a man down in the 2nd minute. It was an incredible game. Amazing game to get a result here. Then the Brighton super team. At this point, the context of this is I think Brighton was on a 10 game win streak. So to lose 3-1, it's not horrible. This was just an awful result here. I don't know what happened. But then we went on an absolute tear, beating Fulham 6-1 with Cunha and Gibbs-White having hat tricks themselves. Gibbs-White having that in the first half is incredible. Insane. Everton 3-2. Was closer than we thought. We just let a few silly goals in towards the later half of the game. Bournemouth 4-0. Cunha with 4 goals. When I tell you this guy has been phenomenal, he's been absolutely insane for us. Drawing City is a good result at City, especially in FM. That's a great result. Leicester probably should have won here. Nusa bags won. Cunha bags won. It is what it is. At this point, I got the email that we were already clear of relegation, and and I was just geeking. I was playing Freed from Desire. I was playing Live is Live. You know, we were just celebrating so hard there. But yeah, we locked in the second half of the season. We got 12th in the Premier League. The main thing is we stayed up, and now we look towards the future for this next season. Like I said, guys, the first season we just wanted to avoid relegation. We wanted to use the money that's coming in. All right, so we're back, and we're looking at the table. Man City ends up winning the Premier League, Tottenham in second, which FM, let's be a little bit more realistic here. So that was the Premier League table. This is the player stats, and Cunha is second in the Golden Boot, 7 goals behind Haaland. Quite honestly, if I was not a bot and if I was just playing the 4-2-3-1 with Cunha at the 9 the whole season, I think he could have bagged a little bit more, but, you know, we'll take that. We'll take that for sure. But yeah, guys, that's going to be about it for this video. I think I'm going to do 1 year, 1 video. We're going to be going super hard next season. I think the goal is to try and get this team into European competition. We're going to be anything that we can to strengthen this squad. There's still a lot of holes, but we'll be going through that in the next video, and we'll be diving deep into the full squad rebuild. But this one was just kind of a highlight into what we can do and see what Aura Aubrey can bring to the Wolves super team. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want me to do another save after this Wolves save. You know what team you want me to to rebuild and prosper next. And that's gonna be about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you guys soon.